Did you think you'd be able to get there 54? No.
No,
Isn't that crazy? Like,
I
not,
figured because I was busy listening to everybody telling me you're going to start looking like a pair, and you're going to get the big pouch and this and that, and it's like no, not going to happen. So
good job not listening to those opinions and thoughts of
it
other
is very
people.
easy to try to listen to them, but
Yeah. What's going on, everybody? Hey, so today I have Warrior Babe Jody here with us. And prior to starting Warrior Babe, Jody's life was about fitness. Fitness was a part of her life. She played tennis, she worked out, she stayed active, but she felt like something was missing. After losing her sister and both of her parents, she was facing reality and it was moving super fast, and she knew that she needed to take her health head on and into her own hands, not just for herself but for her family. And then Warrior Babe entered her life and gave her the tools to build the whole package: fitness, nutrition, and a mindset that would last a lifetime. And now she's stronger, more confident, even helping others make better choices. And today she's here to share her story. Jodi, welcome.
thank you.
So, can you let the listeners that are tuning into this know, like, where you're from, how old you are, and what do you do for work?
Yep. So I live in Florida right now, by ways of New Jersey, born and raised. I'm 54 years old, and I work in healthcare analytics for a healthcare company, insurance company.
Wonderful. How's the Florida weather treating you right now?
It's perfect. Not too humid yet. Give
Always
it another
jealous.
couple weeks, and I won't be saying the same thing.
Yeah, you're gonna get the heat, right? It gets pretty hot down
Exactly.
there.
It does. It does. Yeah.
All right, so let's dive into your story before Warrior Babe. What was your health and fitness like before you joined us?
So I always, like you said, I always, ever since I was younger, I was always very active. I played sports. I worked out. I thought I was eating healthy. Thought I was doing the right things, but something wasn't completely connected. I would look in the mirror. I'm like, for the amount that I'm working out, why is this not looking right? Why is that not looking right? I'm not eating that much. Why am I, not losing weight? Why am I not getting muscles? And I really I was, like I said, I was always very active. So, and anybody that looked at me is like, oh, you're so thin, you look good. But like that term, and I think I got it from one of your podcasts, was skinny fat, right? So I always felt like something was missing there. And so I knew I wanted to stay active, but I needed to know, like, I kept hearing also, oh, you're getting close to menopause and you're going to gain 5 pounds every year. You're going to get a pouch. Your butt's going to get bigger. Like, your body's just going to completely change and there's nothing you can do about it. And I was like, oh, hell no, that's not going to happen. So I started doing some research, right? So started looking at podcasts, and that's when I stumbled upon you. And I literally, every time I was in the car, I would just start listening to your podcast, listening to your podcast, listening to your podcast. And I was like, oh my God, this is so perfect. This is exactly what I need. Like, everything was really resonating with me.
Mm.
And so I decided maybe it is time to start thinking about myself, right? I'm always, I'm always looking out for my kids and for my husband. I took care of my sister. I took care of my mom when she was sick. And I was like, you know what? I don't want to be that person. I want to take care of myself now. It's my turn.
Yeah, I
And
love that.
yeah, it came down to the point, like, I'm like, do I want to spend the money on myself? And I was like, you know what? You cannot put a price on health. You really
Amen to that.
can't. And it was just one of those things that I bit the bullet, I did it, and it was probably one of the best things that I've done in my life. Like, honestly, game changing in so many aspects, physically, mentally, just my whole life is changed because of it.
Mm. Love that, and I can't wait to unpack specifically around the podcast, like what stuck out to you the most, and what you were listening to and hearing, and then your journey in Warrior Babe. I love to hear that. It's been the best thing that the best decision you've made. I want to unpack a little bit more about. I mean, there's so many women that listen to this or that are going to listen to this and feel like they're in the same boat. They're active. They're doing all of the right things. They're trying to stay healthy. What do you feel like were the most frustrating parts about, like, feeling like your body wasn't responding to the things that you were doing?
It's frustrating because you think you're doing the right thing, right? And so you think, I'm eating healthy, I'm not eating a lot, I'm not eating carbs, I'm not, you know, what's not working? Everything you read, like, you see this, you see that. It's like, don't eat carbs, don't eat fats, don't eat too much of this, lower your calories.
Mm-hmm.
And I tried all that, and like something's just not right. And it was just so frustrating. And it turns out I wasn't eating enough. I was definitely not eating enough and eating the right foods that I needed. Like I was actually shocked when I joined and when I met with my coach and she gave me my macros. I was like, oh God, really? Like you got to be kidding me. How am I going to do this? So that was the most frustrating thing is, I've done so many different fitness programs or tried different diets or ways of eating or programs and nothing really resonated with me. Nothing seemed to work. I would lose a couple pounds here, tone up a little bit, but it wasn't a lifestyle. And I think that was the most important thing for me was I needed to learn how to do this, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
anybody can do a 12-week program, but what happens after week 12? You then go back. I don't feel like you have the tools to then move on and do this on your own. At some point, we all have to do it on our own, right? I mean, we could stay forever, but eventually, I mean, I know for me, I did the year and I was debating, do I want to do the second year? And I signed up for my second year. I just started my second year. And again, so thankful that I did it because I couldn't do it on my own right now. And I
Right.
still need that extra time to potentially get me to that point where I can, right?
Right.
Because I'm still second guessing myself with some stuff.
And that's what is so awesome to have a coach in your corner because like you have the responsibilities of your day to day to do the things that you need to do from work and family and friends and living your life, that having a coach to say, hey, this is what you need to do and I'm going to hold you accountable on a weekly basis to do it. All you got to do is check in and do the work, is the coolest part about having someone hold you accountable along the way. And I love that you recognize that, hey, like first year down, second year down, like I'm still learning these things because you have to rewrite the narratives of what you thought you like were trying to do beforehand or what you grew up with, like with eating right or working out, and but there's so much more depths to it. It's like, oh, I was eating healthy but I wasn't eating enough, which is a different perspective to look at it that way. I actually want to unpack that a little bit with you because you were always like, you were active, you were fit, you did all the sports, but you weren't eating enough. What did that look like on a day-to-day basis for you
Back then or now?
back then?
Back then, I mean, I would eat, I would have like a protein shake for breakfast, and then I wouldn't have anything. I would have my lunch and maybe a little snack and then dinner. But it wasn't enough. It was not enough to now it's, I wasn't incorporating enough of the stuff that I probably should have.
Right.
Right. So I had no clue before I worked out how to fuel my body. Right. I didn't understand that. I was like, I can't eat carbs before and after my work. I had no idea to do any of that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And again, it was one of those things like I did something at one point, a program where they gave me some macros, but I had no idea what that meant. Okay, so I'll just put the stuff in my fitness pal and hope for the best, but didn't truly understand that it was, so yeah, you need X amount of fat, but what kind of fats do you need? What kind of proteins? What kind of carbs? Like carbs, you always think carbs are like the worst, the enemy. And they're really not, is what I've learned. Like I love my carbs now.
I love to hear that because carbs are really important for the types of goals that you want to get after. So what I'm hearing though is that from the programs that you've tried before, it was more so like, hey, here's your plan, but like there isn't the education or the why or the knowledge
Yes.
behind what they're giving you so that you feel like confident that you can execute on like why you need to eat more food and why you need to do this type of workout. Is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah, oh, absolutely. It was the education. Like you can pick up any app in the world and go to the gym, right? And you could do your workout, but that doesn't mean it's going to work. It doesn't mean you know why you're doing it, why you're eating around that way. So for me, Warrior Babe showed me like, and my coach is amazing. I love her. Like she's answers my questions. She helps me physically, mentally, the whole thing. Like
Yep.
but she's taught me so much. And I mean, even to the point that I literally just last couple of weeks ago just finished up a 6 month certification with Cornell in healthy living and nutrition. And
I love that.
it was more for me. And what was great about it is everything she's been teaching me and your podcast have been teaching me was kind of reiterated in this course. And I was like doing my assignments and saying, oh my God, like I know this. I don't even have to do the research. This is what I'm living every single day.
Heck yeah.
So it's like really made me get a better understanding of what I need to do and why I need to do it and be able
Love that.
to like share that now.
Love that. You're gaining the knowledge. You
Yeah.
have the experience of it, but now you're gaining the deeper knowledge on it. And then you are able to go and spread the word, which you're already doing, which is super cool.
Oh, it's great. I just literally, a friend just texted me today and she's like, well, if you were going to eat lentils, would you put that as a carb or a protein? And I was like, well, it's actually both. So it's like, like, it's like, I'm like, people are now reaching out to me. They're like, wow, something's working for you. What are you doing? And I really, like, I love it. It's really just become such a big part of my life.
I love that. I want to go down the path of you losing your sister and your parents. How did that impact your mindset around like health and longevity for yourself?
You know what? It's a terrifying thing. So my mom was 62, my father was 61, and my sister passed away almost 2 years ago at 56.
Wow.
And that's the one that hit me the hardest because I'm 54 now, right? So at that point, I was like, wait a minute, if that happened to three of my five family members, like I have two sisters, what's to say I'm not next, right? You don't know. And then you hear, oh, you're so healthy, don't worry about it. But you still can't help think like, you're faced with your own mortality.
Sure.
And I have a 22-year-old son. I have a 26-year-old daughter who just got married. And I was like, you know what? I don't want them to ever experience what I went through. Whatever I can do to make myself healthy, and obviously certain things are not preventable, like catching a
Mm-hmm.
disease or whatnot. But whatever I can do to build my system, my immunity, everything to make my life a little bit better, and be there for them, be there for my future grandkids, and that really was a big time driving force for me because it was, it losing a sibling is awful. Like, you're really, it's a horrible thing and it really affects you mentally and physically. Because you could have, I know a lot of people that would have just said, okay, screw it, I'm not going to do anything, I'm depressed, I'm just going to sit there. And I kind of took the opposite school of thought, right? I'm going to take this and I'm going to prove that, it's not going to happen to me. And I am going to be there and I am going to be that person that hopefully, my kids will have their kids and I'll meet their grandkids. You know what I'm saying? So I want to make sure that I took it as an opportunity to better myself
Mm-hmm.
because again, you can't put a price on health, is what I've learned. You really can't, and it's just at the end of the day, that's what you have. And
Yeah.
it hasn't always been easy. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, my kids are like, I don't understand. You don't want to drink. You don't want to do this. You want to do that. I was like, just let me be me. Like, let me do this for me. Respect me for it, and just accept it. I'm not asking you your permission. You need to understand where I'm coming from. And I think they finally are starting to see that, because of all the loss and all the hardships that we've had, that it
Sure.
is, I'm doing it for them and for me, mostly for
Sure.
me, but for them secondly.
I love that they're finally starting to see that for yourself because that is it's a horrible, it's a sad, it's a state of your life. And I'm so sorry you went through that, but it seems like you turned it into the positive that you have. Do you feel like that was the moment that you realized like things needed to change when that was all going on for yourself?
It was, yes, I think after that all happened, especially with my sister, I think I started feeling, that's when really I was starting to go into perimenopause. And my sister died of ovarian cancer. So that was, very scary. So I was like,
Mm-hmm.
wait a minute, that's really the next stage for me. Like, is this going to happen to me too? How do I, she really didn't take care of herself. And then, so in the back of my mind, I said, well, what if she had? What if she ate healthy? What if she worked out? Would it have changed the outcome? The outcome may have been the same, but maybe the suffering and the time would have been different.
Yeah.
So I felt like I had the power to change and the capability to do it. So
Right.
why not try? Because you don't know. If you don't try, you're not going to find out.
100%. Your perspective is spot on. I love that for you. Okay, let's go into the podcast. What stuck out you the most about the podcast when you're listening to it?
So the first one I listened to was the one you did. It was like fat loss versus weight loss,
Mm,
and I mean and it was like, wow, this is like the truth. Like I just, I listened to that one, and then it was so I literally listened, I think, to every single one of your podcasts, and just like listening to them and listening to you talk, I was like, wow, like this really is. It's true. Like it's not that difficult. I feel like we almost people overthink it and try to
hmm.
do too much, right? Like these, I'm going to drink this shake and I'm going to eat this meal and I'm going to order the, and it's just like it doesn't have to be that difficult. And every one of your podcasts, when you had I listened to the one yours the other day with Caleb that you did.
Yeah.
That was amazing. Like I didn't want to get out of the car. I was listening, like I'm like, okay, I'm home, but I'm just going to sit in the driveway.
I replayed that like 3 times. I don't
It's,
typically play back my podcast, so I replayed that one 3 times.
yeah, it was amazing. And I was like,
Yep.
so all these podcasts, just like I literally at one point I was driving, we were on vacation, I was going to visit my sister, and the whole way, the whole 3 hours, I just listened to podcast after podcast after podcast because it was really like there's so much to be gained, so much knowledge, and so much of it I feel is relatable. It's not
Yeah.
like I listen to some podcasts, I'm like, okay, this is just above my head. Like they get very scientific or this or that. This is really like you can say, oh, I understand this and I can apply this. And it makes you want to listen more and learn
Hmm.
from it and take from it, which is what I
Hmm.
think the most important thing is for me. Like I go back and I'll listen to some of them over, or they really resonate with me.
Love that. Okay, and from the podcast is where you joined Warrior Babe.
It is. Yep. So I kept listening. I think I probably listened for about 2 weeks. And one of them, it said, if you're interested, click on the link. And so I'm like, okay. So I tried it. I remember I was in the car and then someone called me and I was like, oh, I don't know. And they're like, what? They were explaining it. And then so I'm like, okay, I'll sign up for the call the next day. And I
Yeah.
did some more research and then I had my call and it was like, I'm like, you know what? I'm doing it. Like it's time for me, right? It's time for me. Like I've spent all this time like getting my kids, through school and through this and through that, and now it's time for me to take my life
Any
over again.
hesitations?
And
Any like skepticism? Anything out of the
I was
gate?
nervous. I wasn't sure. I was like, is it really going to work? Financially, it's a lot to lay out at once. But I was like, you know what? I went hemmed and hawed, hemmed and hawed, hemmed and hawed. Like a couple of nights, like maybe I shouldn't have done it. But then once I got on my first call with my coach, and whoever did the pairings did it perfect. And I never looked back. And
Oh,
it was one of those things that um, I was like, okay, you know what? A friend of mine had called me and asked me about it because I guess she saw me asking a question on the WarriorBabe page. So
mm.
she called me and she's like, I don't want to spend the money and this and that. And I was like, you should. I'm like, I'm telling you, it was so worth it. And if you get, like, I truly believe, like, if you're paired with the right coach, like, Annie's helped me both physically, but also mentally. Like, she's really helped my mental game a lot, walked me off a ledge because I'm hyper focused on the scale. I'm getting better.
Oh, I
So,
just recorded a podcast for you today then. That'll come out on Friday
all right, I'll be
about the
listening.
scale.
Because, that's like, I get on, I'm like, wait a minute, why did I gain so much weight? A pound or 2 pounds overnight. And then all of a sudden I'm learning, I didn't sleep well. I haven't gone to the bathroom. I'm learning I had maybe some salt last night, not enough water. So I'm starting to have a healthier relationship with the scale as well.
I
Because
love that so much for you because it's not the means to your whole story,
now,
it's like a tool, it's a data point.
yeah, I'm learning that it's really not. Like I'm learning more. It's the way my clothes are fitting me, all of that kind of stuff. How I look in the mirror, how I look at a bathing suit, my pictures. When I look back at my pictures from now to day one, it's mind blowing. Like I'm just like, wow, I really, and I'm like, I look at myself like, oh God, like I thought I looked good, and I probably looked okay, but I looked at how I look now, and I'm like, oh, for the first time, I'm like, I feel good. Like I look good.
You feel more confident in your
I
skin.
do. I feel so much more confident in my skin. Like I mean, like I had said, my daughter got married in December,
Yep.
and I wore a dress I probably wouldn't have normally wore. I mean, it was cut my arms, my shoulders. I mean, it was. I looked good.
I know you said
I
you
felt
mentioned
good.
you talked about that last time. And also you mentioned it in the bio too as well. Why do you think that was so hard for you to because you were like, I want to look incredible.
You know what? I think because I never felt that way, right? So like I would always look at myself. I'm like, yeah, I look okay, but I would always. I had some friends who had like they really cut and defined, and I always my arms like that was always my thing. Like I always wanted to look defined and cut and just really for myself. Like I
Yeah.
didn't, it wasn't more like what other people would think. It was I wanted to feel good for me and look
Yeah.
good. And with the wedding, I worked so hard, and so when I got there, and my son, he saw me, he's like, and he goes, "Shit, mom, your arms look ripped." He's like, "Oh my god!" So I was like, that to me, that was like so like such a great feeling for your 22-year-old son to be like, "Shit, you're ripped, mom." That's like To some people, that's nothing. To me, that meant a lot.
Heck yeah, it's that external validation of the hard work that you're
Yes.
putting in, which is
Hmm.
incredible.
Yeah.
So take us down the story of the first couple of months with Warrior Babe because you weren't eating enough, and then your coach told you you did the retrain process, right?
Yes, I did. So I was
Okay.
retrained for a few months, and that was really difficult because I just, at first, because I didn't understand it, um, but I responded really fast to the retrain. And so it was, I didn't realize like that I wasn't eating enough, I wasn't drinking enough, I wasn't eating the right foods.
Hmm.
Um, like you always think less is better, but it's not. So I learned that less is not more. In this case, it's you need to fuel your body the right way. So I started eating healthier. I started, reading labels and scanning stuff. And it was amazing. Some of the stuff that I thought was good for me really wasn't.
Like
And so
what?
just like, certain kinds of breads, I'm like, okay, this is healthy. It's a whole grain bread. But I'm like, maybe that's not really the right one. I'm like, there's more stuff in it. So I kind of try to find more fruits, more vegetables, a lot more protein. I never ate oatmeal before now. I eat oatmeal. So I've learned I'm a very picky eater, so I'm starting to, really incorporate more into it and learning when to eat it. That was huge too, right? So I was
Hmm.
always, I grew up with a dinner. You had your vegetables, your protein, and you had like rice or potatoes or whatever. Now I really don't eat those carbs, that type of carb at dinner anymore. Usually lunch, depending when I work out, that's my last carb.
Hmm.
Percent. Like it'll be like vegetables or salad. That will be my nighttime carb. But I try to stay away from like the potatoes, the starches at night because it wasn't sitting well in there. I would try to get them when I was more active.
Mm.
So like I just never understood the timing of food, what to pair with what. So that was a big challenge for me, a big struggle for me with this whole process. And it was frustrating learning how to balance it all out. But I got there.
You did. How much food were you eating at the top of your retrain?
um, Probably, I think at one point I was close to 1,500 calories.
Wow.
Yeah, and so now I'm just about at maintenance. So now I think I'm at like we just upped it a little bit. So I think I'm like 130 carbs, 50 fats, which I was like, oh god, I don't know if I could do that. But it all seems to everything again making the right food choices. It all kind of fits like a little puzzle. But I've also taken like one thing I've learned too is I don't do it that day. I start to plan it. So like I'll sit on the couch at night as we're watching TV and I'll start, what do you want for dinner? He's like, really? We just finished dinner. I'm like, but we need to figure out what we're having tomorrow night so I can
Yep.
plan my day. So by planning my day and figuring out what time I'm going to work out and, do it that way, that helps me keep myself very structured.
Love
And
that. You should always plan the day before for the next day.
yes,
Keeps
that
you.
and I've gotten to the point too, like, if we go out to dinner or something, I'll take it that I'll look at the menu first. And I'll say, okay, this is what I'm going to have. And then, so I'm like, okay, so they say it's just plain grilled chicken. I'm going to just put in some extra fat because as well as I know if they're doing something with it. It doesn't taste the same as if my grilled chicken. So I try to compensate. Like, I don't know exactly what it is, but I always try to play around with it so that it fits.
Yeah. How about training? What does training look like now? Like to prior to what it was before to what you're doing now?
So I work out 5 days a week.
Hmm.
Um, but now, so I've done Orange Theory. I did all that kind of stuff. And now like this is now I'm doing, like a leg day, then maybe a upper push, then another leg day, but maybe one's on quad, one's on hamstring. So I didn't really understand how you had to break up the exercises, the different bodies parts, right? So I just thought, I'll just walk through all the machines and I'll do a circuit and I'll be great.
Yeah.
But now like focusing on each part of the body on the different days is helping me as well because I'm feeling it more. I'm definitely seeing more of a change because of that. So I usually do 5 days in a row, but if I can't, then I'll just move it. I try not. I don't really work out on the weekends that much, but if I can't work out tomorrow, let's say, then I'll push it till I'll go Saturday, depending on my schedule.
Love that though, because you have 7 days of the week. So you can move around your two rest days wherever you need to if you
Right,
don't get the Monday through Friday in.
right. And I do also play tennis usually 2 to 3 days a week as well. On top of, and that's what my friends were too. Like, what do you mean you're going to the gym? We played tennis. I'm like, it's not exercise.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel the
But,
same way because
right.
I play women's basketball leagues on Monday nights, but I'm like, I still need to get my strength training in.
Yeah,
So,
it's not like it's just not exercise to me. So I love the gym. I absolutely I love going there. I just it's like my happy place. If I don't go, I just don't feel great. If I'm in a really bad mood, like my husband and my kids would be like, "Did you go to the gym today, Mom?"
yeah. Isn't
You know,
that
it
crazy?
definitely you can really see the difference in me now. I wasn't
Yeah.
always like that, but now if I don't go or if I'm in a bad mood, just going up to the gym and getting that little workout. I mean, someone even said to me at the gym the other day because I was just in between sets and I was like dancing around my music and like, wow, you're so happy to work out. It's like I wish I could be like that. And I'm like, it's just a part of my life now.
Yeah, you get to
And I
work
feel
out.
like
You don't
it's
have to
always
work
going to be
out.
one.
Yeah, you get to work out. You don't have to work out.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's a mindset everybody should have around it because
Yeah,
everyone's like, I
it's
have to
not a
work out
chore.
today.
Like I have friends that are like, well, I have to go to the gym. I hate it. I'm like, I
Yeah.
love it. Like
Yeah.
it's really, it's like my thing to do.
Yeah, totally. It makes you feel so much better. It makes you feel like you accomplished something hard in the day when you put yourself under that, type of stress of a workout in a good way.
Yeah, and it just I feel like I put my headphones on. It's my way of just kind of tuning out the rest of the world, like
For
forgetting
sure.
about what's going on at work or this or that. It's my hour for me.
For sure. Love that.
It's so important.
What do you feel like from like Orange Theory and all the other things that you've tried in different like diet programs? What do you feel like makes like Warrior Babe different from all of those other approaches?
I think it's the one-on-one personally.
Mm.
So Orange Theory was great initially, and then there was too many people. So as fast as you can do these exercises, get these done. Go on the rower, do it, get as many rows as you can get in a minute. So your form isn't right. You're getting, you just don't know what to do. It's everybody's doing the same thing, and it may not be what you need, right?
Mhm.
I feel like my workouts are tailored to exactly what I need to my goals, and the fact that they're changing every month when I meet with my coach is great too because every month when she changes them, I'm so excited. I'm like, I can't wait to see what's in store for me today, right? So it's I feel like this is like it's your own personal trainer.
Yep.
It really is, and so which is great. And like to me, that's key. If you have and the video, like I have the videos on there to show me the form and do all that. So every workout that she's given me has been amazing and really like I love the variety. I think more than anything.
To that point right there, it just popped in my head. It's like your own personal trainer. What would you say to someone that's like, oh, I just need to train in person with someone versus like what you're getting the experience of being online?
You know what? People have said that to me, and truthfully, I think I get more from being online because I watch some of these people at the gym with their trainers, and yeah, they're working with them, but they're talking.
Yeah.
They're like having full on conversations
I know.
about it.
I see that
Just
all the
like today
time.
was talking about her daughter and cheerleading and this and that. I'm like, wait a minute, like
I see that
I
all
don't
the
have that,
time. Yeah.
right? So
Yeah.
and because I also feel because you are connected through the app, right? So if I'm at the gym and I don't understand something or I have a question, I'll just shoot my coach a message, and usually her response time's amazing. So it is kind of like I have somebody there.
Yeah.
And so I personally think it's the greatest thing in the world. I mean, I don't need somebody right on top of me. And that's also another thing. So like when people are like, oh, it's so expensive, and I'm like, it's really not. Because if you think about it, where I live, we have a gym and they have trainers, right? So their trainers are about like between $90 and $100 an hour. You want
And
to do that
even more,
5 days
like
a week?
there's some more like lifetime ones are like 180. Can get
Yeah.
up
So
there.
so you have that, and then you have someone that's giving you all your nutrition, and then also your team huddles and your calls with your coach, like that. You it's to keep the price on it, but I think it's actually a bargain for everything you're getting. It's I think the like using the online is so much better because you can also take it anywhere you go. Right?
Yeah.
You can go on. I bring it on vacation with me. I'm in a hotel. If I travel for work, I can still. I bring it with me. I don't need my personal trainer in person because I have it. It's
Hmm.
always there.
I love that you pointed out the one-on-ones and all the other things that you get with the program, the huddles, the community calls. Like, I think a lot of people look at not a lot, like some people look at the cost of the program and they're like, oh, well, it's just training in macros to a lot of people or training in nutrition to a lot of people. But they don't forget the value of the accountability that comes along with making a successful program actually work.
Agree. Yeah, that accountability is huge. Um, and you know what? It's also like for example, all the women in our group, right?
Hmm.
We don't know each other, but the support that we have for each other is amazing. You know,
Yeah.
like you're vulnerable and you're okay sharing it with people. Like you're not judged because these people don't know you, right? If some of the stuff I say like about like my insecurity, whatever, I put something in the group, we start talking. That is not that my friends wouldn't understand, but I may not feel want to say that to them. Like these
Hmm.
women are judging me because they don't know me. So it's a different. We've never met. We've never, we have our bi-weekly calls, so we're really starting to get to know each other and share stuff, which is that's huge though. Like it's you need that group,
It's
and
so,
it
yeah,
helps you get through. Like if you're
100%.
frustrated, if someone complains the scale and this and that, or I can't work out for this. I don't know what to eat. Like we're sharing recipes, we share foods that we found. It's it's invaluable.
I
It
love
really is.
that.
It's this whole what I've learned. This whole thing. It's not just food. It's not just working out. It's mental. It's like a whole package. And when you put the whole package together, it's amazing.
I
Like
love
I
that.
truly am so thankful that I found it. I can't even tell you.
Yay. I'm so glad you stumbled across the podcast. So, okay, let's talk about your accomplishments. So, since joining Warrior Babe, where are you now in your journey? And then also, what are some of the top accomplishments that you've had?
So in my journey right now, about I'm in maintenance. Next step will be a cut. So I'm still learning, obviously, a lot of stuff. My main accomplishments, I think, is really just being sticking with the program. It would have been easy to be like, I don't want to do this, right? Or um, taking, learning, asking the questions. Something I've never done before is to question, why am I
Mm,
doing this way? What is this? Um, Again, relying on other people. That's very hard. I'm not that person. So that was, that vulnerability. So to me, that's a huge accomplishment. Is that vulnerability and being okay with saying, "Here's my pictures," showing it to people, right? Like
mhm.
that's huge.
It
Um,
is huge.
and so that for me, it's I think my accomplishments physically, I look better at 54 than I did at 21, right? I feel better, and so those, from that perspective, that's huge. I'm eating healthier. I'm eating more than I've ever eaten in terms of variety and food. I just, I think just having something of my own, right? Like this is all for me.
Yeah.
Like that's an accomplishment. Being able to say, you know what, everybody else in my world, great, I'm still here for you, but I'm doing something for me.
Which you are still then positively impacting those that are around you because you mentioned that your son lost 40 pounds, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
From what you're learning and from what you're
Yeah.
teaching him.
Yeah. And
How does that make you feel?
it makes me feel amazing. Like I love that. He's at school and he'll call me. He's like, I'm about to eat. Like, what should I do? Should I do this? Or he'll call me from the gym and be like, I'm hitting legs today. What do you think about this exercise? So it's like it's great that like I'm like, wow, like he's a 22-year-old kid calling his mom for this stuff.
40
So it's
pounds, Jody. Like you're what you've done for yourself is in your journey is helping others. It's helping your family.
and I want it, and that's the thing. Like this has made me want to do more.
Yeah.
It's like I want to take this, and I don't know what my next steps are going to be with it. But like I took that certification, and I'm like, I have this whole new thirst for knowledge that I want to do something. At this stage of my life, what can I do with it? And so that's
Oh.
really what my challenge is right now is figuring out in a good way what I'm going to do because
Get
I
some
know I'm going to do
people.
something else. It doesn't end here.
Yeah. Just start working with people. Get those testimonials. Get those life-changing stories. That's your first step.
Yeah,
Yeah, keep helping them as much
I'm
as you can.
trying.
Yeah. I love that. How do you think Worry Babe has changed your life outside of just fitness? Like, how has it changed your entire lifestyle?
It's made me more confident.
Mm.
It's made me more aware. It definitely has helped my insecurities, my mental strength. It's made me put a lot of stuff in perspective. Even
Yeah.
just watching some of your testimonials, right? Like listening to some of the stories and all of that. Like you realize, like this is good. Like you need to hear this kind of stuff to better yourself as a person. That you're not alone out there. That
Yeah.
everybody has something. right? So you could look at someone that looks like they have the perfect world, the perfect life, but it's not the case. We got to work to get to what your perfect is. And I don't know if I'll ever get there, but I feel like I'm working towards bettering myself and happier than I've ever been. And I think, feeling good, looking good, the mental aspect, it helps everything. Your relationship with people, you know, um, my husband is 100% supportive, which is great. So, at first, he didn't fully understand either, like what I was doing. But now he totally gets it and he's on board and he eats the way that I eat. I even got to go to the gym with me some days. So,
Yeah.
it's, it's given me almost like a new lease on life, truly, right? Like
Wow.
it's really changed. It's changed my life in the sense that I could have gone on the way I was, and I would have been fine, but I didn't realize what was missing. If that makes sense, and there was
Hmm.
something missing. So I guess maybe I was searching for something and stumbled
Yeah.
across it, and there you
Yeah.
go.
That's God's work right there. You were searching for something, you felt like something was missing, you were seeking things, you were like trying to find the answers, and then all of a sudden you stumbled across a podcast, which led you now down this journey of your own personal transformation, both in confidence and in learning the knowledge of fitness and nutrition. And now you're taking it to help other people, which that's like it's like a full circle moment right there. You should be so proud of everything that you've accomplished. It's huge.
Yeah, it is like I am. Like I said, I am proud of myself. Like I feel great.
Yeah.
And I still trust me. I still have work to do. I
We
have
all
another
do.
year and at least, and there's a lot more that I want to do and I want to learn, and I know I can do it. So that's I'm gonna get there.
Heck yeah. What are the goals of what you guys want to accomplish in your cut?
So I'm not really sure yet. It's a good question. Um,
Will this be your first one when you went to retrain, then the
this will
maintenance,
be
now you're going to your cut?
this will be my
Okay.
first cut. Yeah.
That's super
So
exciting. You're gonna get to see how your body responds to it. And
yes.
that'll be a whole nother learning curve. You
Right,
learn
and
more
that's what's
things
so
than each
exciting about it is because I have no idea what phases were. I have
yeah.
no clue. So, it'll be interesting to see. Like, it's fun to, like I said, it's fun to see the muscles popping out of my legs now or this or that. Like,
Heck yeah.
I mean,
Did you think
I
you'd be able
like,
to get there at 54?
yep.
Did you think you'd be able to get there at 54? No.
No,
Isn't that crazy? Like
I
that.
figured because I was busy listening to everybody telling me you're going to start looking like a pear and, you're going to get the big pouch and this and that. And it's like, no, 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 not going to happen. So
Good job not listening to those opinions and thoughts of
it
other
is very
people.
easy to try to listen to them, but
Yeah.
I have some friends that are older and like, oh, you wait, just wait and see. And I'm like, nope, not gonna happen. Not
Everyone's
gonna
like, your doom years are ahead of you. Like I hear, the one that makes me feel the saddest is that people feel like they're a stranger in their body when they hit menopause or premenopause. They have no idea, like, and then they accept what the doctors and people say about, this is just what happens and get used to it. And but that's not
Yeah,
the
and I won't
truth.
do
It
that.
doesn't.
I
Yeah,
refuse to do that. I have a lot of friends that are going on hormones and this and that, and I'm not doing any of that.
good.
I don't. I'm like, you don't need to. I mean, I even got off. I was on anxiety medicine for years.
Wow.
Cut off all of that stuff. I do everything just natural now, vitamins and just we did with the testing that we did, Dr. Cabral's testing.
Yeah.
Cortisol was low, so I'm on the cortisol and I'm on this and that and all the vitamins and the supplements now. I don't. That's all I take.
Love that. I
And
love that. Let's
right, like
go.
I don't want to put anything in my body. I want to do hormone patches. I don't want to do any of this. I'm like I'm gonna try to do this as naturally as I can.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Do it as naturally as you can, and then if ever needed. HRT has taken on a good like rep in this space. It's getting a lot more traction in terms of positivity around it, but only unless you need it. You don't, so you should be proud of yourself for taking the natural steps first until you need to figure out potentially what's next. Yeah. So, for anybody that's listening right now, what would you tell someone that maybe is afraid to take like their next step? Like, what would you tell them how Warrior Babe could positively and make a positive impact on their life?
I would say take the step, take the plunge. Again, if they're concerned about the cost, you can't put a price on your health. It will change you in ways that you didn't realize you needed to change.
Mm,
Right. So if you're looking at it and you're saying, again, like we were talking about, oh, it's a workout program, it's this or that. It is so much more. It's doing something for you. You would do it for someone else, right? You would do it for your child. If your child needed something, you would do it for them. If your husband needed something or your partner needed something, you would do it for them. You've got to be a little bit selfish. My dad used to say, you got to look out for number one because if you don't, nobody else will.
Heck yeah.
And literally, if you're thinking about this program, do it. Honestly, it is, I, it's game changing. It really is.
Oh,
Uh,
thank you. I'm
yeah,
so grateful that you trusted in us at the beginning and now you're here.
I thank you. I'm telling you, it really, I tell everyone I can about it.
I love that. I love that. And everyone that's listening too, it's like Jody, you just heard her story and it shows that through transformation, it's not just about weight loss. It's like or fat loss. It's about knowledge, it's about gaining confidence, it's about stepping into you stepped into your power, you know?
Yeah.
Like you are thriving through this journey and now it's being positively impacted to other people in your space, your friends, your son. You wanted to be there for your family and in the process you found the strength that you never expected. So everyone that's listening, like if you're ready to take control of your health, if you're ready for that sign, like this could be your sign from listening to Jodie's story. So start today and see how far you can go because Jodie's making a full circle moment here right now. But no, thank you so much for sharing that story, Jodie. And I know it's going to positively impact just one person that listens to this. And potentially from that, their whole life could change. So thank you.
Well, thank you.